Oh look, it's much more Christmassy than yesterday's video. Ho ho ho. Welcome to day 2 of the 12 Days of Clueless, a series that might not actually make it to 12 days. Although I was in booths in MediaCity recently in Salford, and they had quite a handsome selection of Christmas beers. And I only picked up one. So, yeah, I have been seeing a few more, even though it's mid-November now, which is good for this, so I can hopefully get the 12 beers of Christmas done. But I don't hold out too much hope, because that's the clueless drink away. Today we're going over to the Ilkley Brewery over in Ilkley, which I think is towards Leeds or in that sort of area. And yeah, peace be with you. The puns are strong with this one. Merry Christmas. So this is a spiced amber ale, clocking in at 4.7%. An amber ale brewed... Let me start again. Amber ale infused with spice and all things nice. Brewed with dried vine fruit, orange peel, cinnamon, nutmeg and molasses. This is simply Christmas in a glass. And then it's got other piece of information which I'm not going to go into. Brewed and bottled in the UK, powered by beer. Ilkley, powered by beer. Drink for pleasure, not for effect, which is something that will be completely disregarded this Christmas season, I'm sure of it. But anyway, festive as you'd expect it to be with that blue and red artwork. And that is the Ilkley Crown. I had a few beers from these, but I've never reviewed them. So, yeah, hopefully this will be a good start with a seasonal beer to celebrate the wonderful period that's Christmas. Now, I do like Christmas. I like it not for the materialistic aspect, without sounding so friggin' liberal and eco. I just like it having people round, sharing good times, eating good food, drinking, well, hopefully good beer, and just having a bit of fun, really. I think that's what I see as Christmas. Of course, when you've got kids, or if you are a child, which, if you are a child, why the hell are you watching this? Fuck off. You know, Christmas sort of loses its charm, even though they try and force it down our throats, even towards like the end of October. And I think that actually just turns people against Christmas in itself. Thankfully, I've not heard any Christmas songs on the radio, although they were playing Christmas songs in Asda. Yeah, when I'm in the mood for Christmas, it's absolutely fantastic. But when I'm not, I just can't be bothered with it. But anyway, enough gassing, and let's get on with the beer. So we shall pour it into the glass and see what we get. So I'm interested to see just how pronounced the spices and the fruits are in this beer, because to be honest, amber ales don't really do much for me. I find them quite boring and dull, that sort of thing. But yeah, so hopefully this will be a good one. So beer in the glass then, and that is a lovely sort of copper colour, a bit more rustic than it is amber, but obviously you do get those amber hues in there. Very subtle ruby red tinge there, it's like offset from that rustic look. Clear as day, nice gentle carbonation, beer poured with about 1 finger's worth of slightly tan coloured head, not really dark, but it's not exactly white. And yeah, looks pretty nice so far. So let's see what we get in the aroma. And you do definitely get that fragrant, spicy tone coming out of it. Big hit of vanilla, lovely dusting of cinnamon in there. I love cinnamon. Cinnamon's like one of the greatest flavours when used properly, but just one of the nicest smells ever. I'm getting like a very subtle, like spruce sort of aroma, or maybe even like a little bit of a like a pine needle. There's that sort of slightly resiny, vegetative sort of character. I know vegetative is the word, but I don't know what the correct word would be to replace that. So definitely get that sort of like mulled sort of aroma to it. That slight potpourri sort of aroma is coming out. It's got a muskiness, but it's sweet at the same time. Yeah, it's like what you'd expect mulled wine, or the spices that you put in a mulled wine to smell like. Not overbearingly sweet, but not too spicy or savoury. It's sort of like a nice mixture of all three, but it's just edged a little bit by the slightly sweet tone. But yeah, it reminds me of like when you get these like Yankee candles with like the Christmas sort of aromas. It is really quite festive-y. Christmas pudding, that sort of thing. Anyway, waffled on for way too long. Let's get this beer drunk and see what we get. Cheers. Couldn't think of anything intelligent to say for cheers. I can never really think of anything intelligent to say anyway. And my lighting is just completely messed. Let's give it a taste. Cheers. Just going to cut to the chase. Not for everyone. It's very perfumey. It's very fragrant. Quite floral as well. There's like this, I know they've not used it, and I could probably my retarded palate, to be honest, but it's got like almost like a slight, what's that, what? Not rosemary, because it does have like a herbaceous edge to it, but what is the thing that I'm talking about? It's floral. It's usually found in like fragrances, and you know, there's Parma Violet sweets as well. I know what I'm talking about, which doesn't really translate if you guys don't know what I'm talking about. It's not rose. Not rose. Lavender. That's what it is. It's got like, it tastes a bit like lavender. And I hate to say it, but it's like when you've got your new smellies and you're spraying yourself because you're going out, shopping in the January sales, because you've got to dress up for January sales apparently. Fair enough, families make a day out of it. Maybe I'm just being overly Scroogey right now, but yeah, it's like you've accidentally sprayed yourself. You've tasted it. Almost has like a smoked malt character to it as well, like ever so slight Rauch beer sort of flavour. Very subtle fruity tones, and it's got that sort of like dried fruity tone that you'd expect, like dates, currants, that sort of thing, like dried orange peel. You do get that bitterness from cinnamon in there as well. Excuse me. I don't really know what I think of this beer. I was expecting it to be a little bit more sweet, especially with it being an amber ale. I thought those sweet malt characters would come out a little bit more. But that vanilla that I was getting on the aroma, not picking that up on the flavour, which is good, because I'm just going to say it, I think vanilla is quite a shit flavour. It can be way too overpowering sometimes. Don't get me wrong, I love like that vanilla sort of flavour you get from like a whiskey barrel-aged beer sort of thing, because I think that works well with those other flavours. But like vanilla itself just does really nothing for me. Do you know what I mean? It's just not a flavour that I like. I don't like vanilla yogurts. I don't like vanilla Coca-Cola. Come on. Yeah, which dirty bastard came up with that? Which I'm actually glad that you're not getting that too much. It's not really that sweet, if I'm being honest. It's herbal. It's flowery, perfumey, floral, not flowery. I friggin' despair sometimes when I'm recording these videos. It's got that Christmassy vibe to it, but I just, in my own head, can't get over accidentally spraying my CK1, because I used to love CK1, and like, it gets in your mouth. That's the sort of thing I'm getting with this. It's a little bit bitter. Not like hop bitter character, but just bitter. And yeah, that subtle Rauch beer character is, because that's a flavour profile that I do like. I love my Rauch beers. That's what's making this beer a little bit more palatable for me. Is it a bad beer? I don't know. I could see people really enjoying this, or I could see people actually finding it a little bit too odd. It's an odd beer, it really, really is. Almost has that like chamomile tea flavour as well. Yeah, I'm not really selling this beer at all, am I? Yeah, I really don't know what to make of it. It's not an awful beer. It's to be honest, just about drinkable. It's well brewed, but the flavours make like when you're doing Christmas beers, like make like a more sweet, indulgent style beer with that little bit of a festive spice. Because yeah, the festive spice element, it's got those Christmassy sort of flavours, but I just don't think it translates well into this beer. On that note, I'm conflicted as to what I'm going to give this one. Do I go Scrooge? Or do I go Good Samaritan? Prickly on the tongue. Body is a little bit lighter than I'd want it to be as well. Which, when you've got those flavours, having a weaker body doesn't help the beer. I'm going to have to give it a 4 out of 10. Am I wrong? Have you tried this beer? Let me know your thoughts, opinions. Have I completely missed the mark? It's just not my thing, essentially. It's just not flavours that I want in a beer. Not for me. It might be for some. But I know those like botanical flavours linger on the back end as well, which doesn't help it either. Yeah, 4 out of 10. I'm giving this a 4 out of 10. That's the lowest score I've given in a while, to be honest. But it's not because of like brewing faults or being badly brewed. I know Ilkley are, they're a highly regarded brewery. From what I've had in the past, very, very solid. It's just this isn't for me. So if this sounds like something that you would like, definitely be on the lookout for it. You should try every beer once. And if you have tried it, then let me know your thoughts and opinions down below. Are you a fan of Ilkley Brewery? Are you a fan of Christmas beers and festive beers? Give me some recommendations for next year. And yeah, check out Ilkley, of course. Always like to promote the brewery. And if any of my fellow beer tubers and friends have reviewed this one, their links will be included. So, day 2. Not the greatest continuation from what was an okay start, I suppose. At least that, it could only get better from here. Well, here's to hoping anyway. Anyway, thank you guys for watching, and I shall, not going to say it, I shall hopefully see you tomorrow. Chin chin. Speaking of which, look how massive that is.